Renaissance Kingdom Wars is a real-time strategy game that blends city-building, grand strategy, and tactical warfare in a richly detailed 14th-century Europe. The game offers a unique combination of empire management and real-time battles, where players can build and expand their cities, manage resources, and engage in large-scale conflicts. The gameplay in Renaissance Kingdom Wars is a mix of city building and RTS combat. Players must develop their cities by constructing buildings, managing resources, and balancing the needs of their population. The game also features a robust diplomacy system, allowing players to form alliances, trade, and engage in political intrigue. Combat is where the game shines, with large, realistic battles that require careful planning and strategic thinking. The game's blend of tactical warfare and strategic management provides a comprehensive experience that will appeal to fans of both city builders and RTS games. Visually, Renaissance Kingdom Wars is detailed, with well-crafted environments and historically inspired architecture. The battlefields are expansive, and the units are nicely animated, although the graphics may not be cutting-edge by modern standards. The sound design is solid, with atmospheric music and sound effects that enhance the medieval setting. Renaissance Kingdom Wars is an ambitious RTS that successfully combines city building, strategy, and tactical combat. While it might not have the polish of larger titles, its depth and historical setting make it an enjoyable experience for those interested in the Renaissance era and strategy games. It's a game that rewards careful planning and offers a unique twist on traditional RTS gameplay. Men of War 2, developed by Best Way, is a real-time strategy game that builds on the legacy of its predecessors with enhanced tactical gameplay set during World War II. Known for its deep and detailed combat mechanics, Men of War 2 offers a gripping experience that appeals to both RTS enthusiasts and history buffs. Men of War 2 shines in its tactical depth, offering players control over every aspect of their units, from positioning to individual weapon usage. The game features both single-player campaigns and multiplayer modes, allowing players to engage in intense battles across a variety of historical scenarios. The direct control feature, which lets players take command of a single unit for precise maneuvers, adds a layer of immersion and control rarely seen in RTS games. The attention to detail in unit management, including factors like ammunition, fuel, and crew experience, sets Men of War 2 apart from more arcade-like RTS titles. This depth, however, may be daunting for newcomers, as the learning curve can be steep. Men of War 2 is a must-play for fans of BWY strategy games, delivering a highly detailed and tactically rich experience. Its realistic approach to warfare, combined with its deep unit management and strategic options, makes it stand out in the RTS genre. While the complexity might be overwhelming for some, those who appreciate a challenging and immersive wargame will find a lot to love in Men of War 2. After spending a couple dozen hours getting the hang of Warno and going back and forth comparing it to the wargame series, I'm glad to say that if you have those criticisms of Warno, these might disappear once you played a couple of hours. One thing I know for certain, there hasn't been a single moment when playing Warno that I have felt overwhelmed by the amount of stuff happening all at once, no matter how large a battle was. Yes, you can also pause the battle if you would like to reposition your troops and issue them orders. This sense of control is further emphasized by the introduction of the line of sight tool from the Steel Division games. Now, at the press of a button and by hovering the mouse around the map, you can see the line of sight of a specific location, allowing for much better positioning and the creation of ambushes, kill zones, and overall advantageous lines of fire. Another major improvement is the way the game handles urban combat. In the Wargame series, houses seldomly appeared on a map, and when they did, they were spread out. Looked all the same, and more often than not, they would be good enough for a couple of infantry units to hide, ambush an armored vehicle, and be promptly shelled by artillery. Warno still uses the same system of blocks instead of individual houses, but there are hundreds of those blocks across the maps. With urban areas having 30, 40, or 50, you can now use and move your units in between when they get spotted. Speaking of which, while Warno single-player content is not overwhelming, it sure as hell isn't lacking either. There are 20 tutorial scenarios to help players get going with the game's mechanics. Warno is one of the most graphically impressive titles in the strategy and wargaming genres. This game has one of the most detailed battlefields and units around. 9-bit Armies, A Bit Too Far, is a quirky and nostalgic real-time strategy game that pays homage to classic RTS titles from the 90s. Developed by Petroglyph Games, this game features a distinctive pixelated art style that gives it a retro, arcade-like charm while offering straightforward, accessible gameplay. The gameplay in 9-bit Armies is fast-paced and easy to pick up, making it perfect for both newcomers and veterans of the RTS genre. Players build bases, gather resources, and command a variety of units in quick, action-packed battles. The mechanics are simplified compared to more complex RTS games, focusing on quick decision-making and aggressive strategies rather than deep resource management or intricate tactics. While this simplicity might appeal to some players, it can also be a downside for those looking for a more in-depth strategy experience. The lack of unit variety and strategic depth might leave seasoned RTS players craving more complexity. The game's 9-bit pixelated graphics are vibrant and full of personality, bringing a nostalgic feel that's reminiscent of early video games. The sound design complements the retro aesthetic, with catchy chiptune music and sound effects that add to the game's overall charm. 9-bit Armies. A Bit Too Far is a fun, accessible RTS that excels in delivering a nostalgic experience with its retro visuals and fast-paced gameplay. While it may not offer the depth that hardcore strategy fans might seek, it's an enjoyable throwback to simpler times in gaming. It's perfect for a quick, fun strategy fix, or for introducing new players to the RTS genre. Reich brings a unique and intriguing twist to the real-time strategy genre with its world inspired by early 20th century conflicts. Set in an alternate universe where rats, mice, cockroaches, and other creatures have taken the roles of warring nations, the game offers a visually distinct and conceptually bold approach to RTS gameplay. Reich follows the traditional RTS formula of base building, resource management, and large-scale tactical battles. Players command armies composed of various animal factions, each with their own unique units and abilities. The game's mechanics are solid, but they don't necessarily break new ground in the genre. The focus is on methodical planning and strategic depth, with a strong emphasis on unit positioning and the effective use of terrain. What sets Reich apart is its attention to detail in unit design and faction diversity. Each faction not only looks distinct, but also plays differently, providing players with varied experiences depending on their choice of army. However, some players might find the pacing slower than other RTS titles, as the game emphasizes careful strategy over fast-paced action. Reich offers a multiplayer mode that allows players to take their strategic skills online. The multiplayer experience is robust, with a variety of modes that cater to different playstyles, from intense one-on-one duels to larger team-based battles. The community, though smaller than in some other RTS games, is passionate and engaged, with players actively participating in forums and discussions. One of the game's notable aspects is its modding support, which encourages players to create and share their own content. This has the potential to greatly extend the game's lifespan, as community-made mods and maps can introduce new challenges and experiences. Reich is a distinctive entry in the RTS genre, offering a unique blend of historical and fantastical elements in a richly detailed world. While it doesn't revolutionize the core mechanics of RTS gameplay, it stands out due to its strong visual design, intriguing setting, and solid strategic depth. Fans of the genre looking for something different, especially those with an interest in alternate history and dark atmospheric storytelling, will find a lot to appreciate in Reich. However, its slower pacing and occasionally heavy-handed narrative might not appeal to everyone. Ultimate General American Revolution is a real-time strategy game developed by Game Labs, known for their previous titles in the Ultimate General series. This game brings the pivotal moments of the American Revolutionary War to life, offering a deep and immersive experience for history buffs and strategy enthusiasts alike. It captures the tactical intricacies of 18th century warfare while maintaining the accessibility and strategic depth that the series is known for. Ultimate General. American Revolution stays true to the formula that made its predecessors. Ultimate General. Gettysburg and Ultimate General. Civil War. Popular. The game focuses on large-scale battles, where players must manage their forces, maneuver units, and make strategic decisions in real time. The battles are intense, requiring careful planning, quick thinking, and an understanding of the era's military tactics. One of the game's strongest aspects is its command system, which gives players granular control over their troops. You can issue orders to individual units or entire divisions with the ability to manage formations, morale, and supply lines. The AI is notably challenging, reacting intelligently to player strategies and making each battle feel dynamic and unpredictable. The game also features a campaign mode where players can take control of either the American Continental Army or the British forces, guiding their chosen side through key battles of the Revolutionary War. The campaign is non-linear, meaning that decisions made in one battle can affect subsequent engagements, adding a layer of strategic depth that goes beyond just winning individual battles. The game offers a challenging experience, particularly for those unfamiliar with the tactics of the era. The AI is smart and unforgiving, requiring players to think several steps ahead. While this might be daunting for newcomers, it offers a rewarding experience for strategy veterans looking for a deep and challenging RTS. Ultimate General American Revolution is a worthy addition to the Ultimate General series and a must-play for fans of historical strategy games. Its blend of historical accuracy, tactical depth, and challenging gameplay makes it a standout in the RTS genre. While it may have a steeper learning curve than some other strategy games, the payoff is a richly rewarding experience that immerses players in one of the most important conflicts in history. Whether you're a history enthusiast or a strategy game veteran, Ultimate General American Revolution offers a deeply satisfying and educational experience that will keep you engaged for hours. Stormgate, developed by Frost Giant Studios, marks a significant return to the real-time strategy (RTS) genre, capturing the attention of both longtime RTS fans and newcomers alike. As a game from a studio formed by veterans of the genre, including key developers from StarCraft II and Warcraft III, Stormgate comes with high expectations, and it largely delivers. Stormgate's gameplay is a familiar yet fresh experience. It draws heavily from the classic RTS formula: resource gathering, base building, and large-scale battles. However, it introduces modern twists that set it apart. The game features asymmetric factions, each with its own unique playstyle and units, ensuring a high level of replayability. The dynamic weather system and terrain effects add an extra layer of strategy, forcing players to adapt their tactics to changing environments. The game's pacing strikes a good balance, offering enough depth for hardcore players while being accessible to those new to the genre. The controls are smooth and responsive, with a user interface that feels intuitive, making complex strategies easier to execute. The campaign mode offers a compelling single-player experience, with diverse missions that go beyond the typical destroy the enemy base objectives, introducing new challenges and scenarios. Multiplayer is where Stormgate truly shines. The game offers a variety of modes, including cooperative and competitive play. The matchmaking system is robust, ensuring that players are paired with opponents of similar skill levels. Custom games and mod support add to the game's longevity, fostering a community that can create and share their own content. Frost Giant Studios has been attentive to player feedback, with regular updates and a clear roadmap for future content. This level of community engagement bodes well for the game's long-term success. Stormgate is a triumph for the RTS genre, offering a polished and engaging experience that feels both nostalgic and new. While it may not revolutionize the genre, it successfully modernizes the classic RTS formula and delivers it with a level of polish that is rare in today's gaming landscape. Whether you're a veteran of StarCraft and Warcraft or someone looking to dip their toes into real-time strategy, Stormgate is a game that shouldn't be missed. Age of Mythology Retold will no doubt please former fans of the title, but I think it will also be something that anyone can jump into and get the hang of, especially with a tutorial. Age of Empires is a massive franchise, and there is no reason to believe that Age of Mythology Retold will go above and beyond past titles. Age of Mythology Retold is not exactly a remake or a remaster, but a reimagining of the original game. Obviously, there has been quite a graphical overhaul since 2002, with every small detail completely recreated to bring new life to the 22-year-old title. Age of Mythology Retold encourages players to replay and find other ways to complete these missions, opting for higher scores each time. Faster is not always better. Population limit in particular will be a big change for Age of Mythology, not just in how visually impressive it is, but in the fundamentals of how it plays. Strategies in AOM were often boxed in by the strict limits on units set by the limitations of the day's graphical tech, even if it was widely praised at the time. Another big gameplay tweak comes in how much control you have over your myth units. Back in 2002, they just used their powers whenever they were off cooldown, but no more. The other huge change is in your god powers. Rather than one-and-done bolts of lightning that will never reappear in a match, those powers are now on cooldowns. Sins of a Solar Empire 2 is the direct successor to Sins of a Solar Empire, Rebellion, which was released in 2012. Accordingly, those familiar with the series should quickly find their way around. But for all those who have never heard of space strategy, Sins of a Solar Empire combines typical real-time strategy with the big picture, a la Stellaris, or Master of Orion. However, the game runs completely in real time. In typical 4X fashion, the technology tree is the central starting point in the game. This is where new colonization options, weapon upgrades, or ship types are researched. Unlike its predecessor, the tech tree is now only divided into civilian and military, but each has 3 subgroups. In order to achieve higher-level research goals, I need more research centers, for which, however, more planets must first be colonized. Sins of a Solar Empire 2 is a good and tradition-conscious sequel that brings some new ideas to the table, but at the same time doesn't cut off old habits consistently enough. Although the battles look spectacular in terms of effects, they are unfortunately still just as static as in the original. In addition, many exciting and existing mechanics, such as cultural expansion, secondary factions, or alternative research routes, hardly play a role. As the aim of the game is always to destroy the opponent, the biggest fleet with the highest research level wins in the end. Yes, on a strategic level, clever advances or diversionary attacks can pay off, but overall the games of Sins 2 quickly feel too similar. This even applies across factions, although on paper there are dramatic differences in production, research, and even ship types. Nevertheless, Sins of a Solar Empire 2 is a sometimes incredibly gripping game that can develop a strong pull effect due to its setting and size. When gigantic fleets jump into systems and nuke the enemy with brute laser fire, my 4X fan heart laughs. The factions are wonderfully diverse, the scenario exciting, and the systems wonderfully deep. Nevertheless, it lacks a little bit of fascination and variety. Empires of the Undergrowth is a captivating and innovative real-time strategy game developed by Slug Disco Studios. Unlike traditional RTS games that focus on human armies or fantastical creatures, Empires of the Undergrowth dives into the microscopic world of ants, offering players a fresh and immersive experience that blends strategy, nature, and survival. The core gameplay of Empires of the Undergrowth is both familiar and unique. Players take on the role of an ant queen, tasked with establishing and expanding a thriving colony. The game combines the basic RTS mechanics, resource gathering, base building, and unit management, with a focus on the intricacies of ant behavior and survival. The primary resources are food and territory, and managing these effectively is key to building a powerful colony. The game is divided into two main phases: the underground nest-building phase and the above-ground foraging and combat phase. Underground, players must dig tunnels, create chambers, and strategically place brood chambers to optimize their colony's efficiency. Above ground, the game shifts to exploration and combat, as players send their worker and soldier ants to gather food, fend off predators, and compete with rival colonies. What sets Empires of the Undergrowth apart is its commitment to realism. The behavior of the ants, the way they interact with the environment, and the various species encountered all feel authentic. The game's AI is particularly impressive, with rival colonies and predators acting in ways that mimic real-world behavior, making the game feel like a living ecosystem. Empires of the Undergrowth is a standout title in the RTS genre, offering a fresh and engaging experience that differs significantly from more traditional strategy games. Its unique focus on ant colonies, coupled with realistic mechanics and detailed environments, makes it a must-play for anyone interested in strategy games or nature. While it may lack some of the large-scale battles of more conventional RTS games, its depth, charm, and the sheer novelty of its setting make it a truly special game. Whether you're a fan of RTS games, a nature enthusiast, or simply looking for something different, Empires of the Undergrowth is well worth your time.